Hey guys, sorry, had my mute on then. How's everybody doing? Hey JP, good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? I hope you're well. Hey Spike, how you doing, my man? Hope you're good too. Just waiting for a few more people to turn up, and we'll start from here, and we'll take it from there and see what happens. Hey, Mallory, hope you're well, my babe. In fact, I hope everybody's well. I'm just waiting for my guest. I'll give him another little shout. Where's the boy band intro? Oh, we don't have boy band intros, mate. We don't have boy band intros. We don't do any of that. Go straight into it is more my type of thing. There's Nova here. If you're here, Nova. Hey, my babe. Hope you're well. Got myself all in a fangle. Oh, right. We're just waiting to see if somebody turns up there. It's a waiting game, isn't it? So I always get stuck at this bit. I really do hate these bits. They're just a pain in the backside. So has anybody heard of this character called Jack Doherty? If you have, put it down in the chat if you have. If you haven't, I'll quickly brief you on him. So have you all heard about him then? Well, if you haven't, Jack Doherty started off Jack Doherty started off as a YouTuber doing flips and tricks at a young age. Then that's how he became YouTube famous, and he started his channel started to grow and grow and grow until he started to earn millions from his channel. Oh, you've talked about him. Oh, good. So you know a little bit. So you know a little bit about him, then. Have you heard about the allegations and stuff like that that's been happening? Because we're going into that too. And also his bodyguard videos as well. Yes, I'll be chatting about that and taking it from there. And as always with the chat, they'll always seem to drift somewhere else. Hey Nova, it's good to see you. I hope you're well. I'm just waiting for Brian. Yeah, he's 21 years of age. He doesn't. Yeah, it's not exactly pranks. That's called pranks. It's all been a pain in your backside, really. You know, he was interviewed by Dr. Phil also. The show didn't last that long. And I think, okay, so we've got a guest. We've got our guest here. So say hello to everybody to Drinks and Discussions. My mate Brian. Hey Brian.
Hey, what's going on, Paul? How's everybody?
Mute. Can't hear nothing.
Oh. Hang on. Testing 1, 2, 3. You can't hear me?
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
It shows everything.
You can hear Brian. I can't hear Brian. Hold on, maybe me. Let me do this.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
saying.
it's me. Say something now, Brian.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing
Yeah,
1 2 3.
that was me. I accidentally put my volume down to nothing.
Hmm.
I didn't realise.
I was gonna say my indicator kept saying that my mic was like full strength, so it's kind of weird. But glad you
That
can
was
hear me.
that's my weird. Yeah, same here. Same any more bloody problems.
Hey Nova, hey Mallory, Flaky Jake, Liz, hello, hello everyone in the chat. Spike, aka John B.
Our boy band intro was here. No, Spike, we don't do boy band intros.
No new edition intro.
So what
Mhm.
my plan is, Brian, we're going to discuss this guy today, and we're going to.
Mhm.
And if anybody wants to come up on the after we discuss, come up in the panel. Come up if anybody wants to offer a view after we discuss, they can come up on the panel and give us their own view. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Do you know much about this bloke?
Yeah,
I call
I
him a
know
bloke
quite a
now.
bit. I know quite a bit about him.
What do you think of him?
Well, let me start by saying this. It is not me to be the person that's going to try to down or badmouth someone who has a platform that's trying to make money, trying to be successful. I think that's everybody. That's what America's all about. You can try and do whatever you want, and if you make a living doing it, so good. So be it. Good for you. Now the problem I have is that when you have a platform like this kid has, and you start becoming a despicable human being, and some of the things that I think he has taken a little too far, almost getting punched in the mouth a couple of times, crashing the
Yeah.
car. I
Yeah.
think that is an indication that he surrounds himself with people who aren't really looking after his best interests, but only after the fame and the financial kickbacks that they're probably getting by hanging
Okay.
out with him.
Have you heard about his OnlyFans content?
I did not know he had an OnlyFans content.
He
No.
doesn't have an OnlyFans content, but he uses girls on OnlyFans content, and allegedly, he keeps 100% of their money.
No, I had not heard that aspect of it, but
Mm.
that's like online pimp gang.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, listen,
yeah.
if there's somebody stupid enough to do that and allow him to do that to them and exploit them, then that's not his fault. That's their fault for being that stupid. I
No, we don't
personally
need to.
don't think it's a moral. My moral compass wouldn't allow me to condone such behavior. But you know, if they're going to do it and he can help profit off of it, whether he keeps 100% or a percentage, I mean, the kids, that's pretty ingenious, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah. So no, but let's put it this way: your son grows up, right?
Hmm.
Touch wood. He becomes the same person like Jack.
Hmm.
Then he does that to women. How do you feel that he's doing that to women?
Well, first of all, I would think that I would raise my son in a way that he would not do that. And I think this has
Yeah.
a lot to do with pointing the fingers at his parents and how maybe despicable people they probably are and going along with it because he's buying them houses and, making a lot of money for them. I mean, you shouldn't sacrifice your morals for, there should not be a price tag on your morals. So no, I would not think that my son would grow up to be that type of a despicable person.
No, but it is despicable what he's doing to do that. And reportedly, he buys the girls. He brought the girls a Rolex watch on Christmas each.
Wow.
I'm just using the word. This is reportedly and allegedly because these
Well,
could equal.
well, he had that McLaren. He bought that $200,000 McLaren, and he crashed it, and it injured one of his friends. And even when he was in that crash, he was more concerned about keeping filming when his friend actually got hurt. He wasn't even asking his friend, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He was trying to say, "Hey, hold my camera so we can keep the camera rolling," while he crashed, while he was actually live streaming or texting, following up on chats on one of his platforms.
Do you think It's YouTube's fault that have helped to platform these types of individuals.
No, because when they have those guidelines, and I think the one he was actually using, they kicked
Was
him
kick.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kick.
they kicked him off. So they can't make you follow the rules and the guidelines, but when they find out that you are in violation of those, I think it's their part that they should be able to be the ones that are actually kicking them off. So they held them accountable,
Yeah.
and I
Hey
think Kick
Vic,
did the right
how you
thing.
doing, mate? Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing.
I think they're the right thing. Do you think it's wise giving that amount of money to such a young person, though?
Again, I don't mind it, but I think that person, the young person, whoever's young enough, it's almost like the Gary Coleman story. I think that you have to, when you give people a lot of money at an early age, the parents have to have some type of moral compass to do the right by their children, and then also um, not allow
Good
the
night, Vic.
child to get to a point where they get to this level of this kid.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've had a look today in his finances. He can generate up to £12 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a young kid.
Yeah.
And if you're not grounded, that kind of shit can go to your head quickly.
I mean, you have to look at the after his accident. His dad there is defending his son. Oh, he wasn't on his phone. He wasn't doing this. He wasn't doing well. And clearly,
He was on his phone.
he's on his phone. The parents have got to take some accountability. Now, the kid just show him some financial astute. He's got good knowledge of money because when he was younger, he bought properties
Mm-hmm.
to get it for a good return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently in Tennessee, what I read.
I'm not sure what state he's in.
Yeah, apparently he brought them in Tennessee where you can get a good return on investment there. He
Well,
brought
good
them.
for him.
Hmm. But there's allegations of also. You've got to be careful in these types of words because these are all allegations and allegedly
Mm-hmm.
that he's been getting out of his taxes by giving things as gifts,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
buying stuff as gifts. There's like 500,000 thing. That's a gift.
Well, let me just say this too. If when you're young, and imagine um, when you had your first job, and you thought you were like, "Woo! I got my first paycheck. I'm gonna go out," and you probably did some things that were probably not financially sane. You probably did something when you're young. You go out there and you probably blew your first paycheck.
I
Probably blew
did.
your first two paychecks.
I remember I paycheck on. I bought myself a pair of 501s and a Levi Range, which you don't hear anymore. Levi Range baggy bright orange T-shirt.
I can't believe you remember what you bought with your first paycheck.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're young, you do frivolous things. You do things. Hell, even to this day. I mean, look at this thing right here. I bought that, and I should never have bought that. We do
Yeah.
things. We do things that not necessarily are right financially responsible, especially men. I mean, women probably mature better than men do. But listen, the kid's 21. And he probably had money at an early age, and there are going to be some hiccups along the way. But he's going to have to learn the hard lesson as he gets older that some of the things that you do as a kid, it doesn't translate so well when you become an adult. Those
He's,
pranks and stuff, they don't come across as innocent pranks when you become a 21-year-old,
he's had
25-year-old.
he's had to hire himself a bodyguard who,
Hmm.
honestly, it looks like he can eat a cow for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, um, because he's made so many enemies and so many people want to hurt him.
Hmm.
Reportedly, also, let me get my notes here. I made notes for this.
Oh.
That's a thing I am in this one. Okay, so Jack posted, right? This is posted on X that he had became best friends or best bros with someone who hated him, and he went. God, I can't even read my writing. And he went to say that the individual flew a total distance of 5,000 miles just to punch him in the face.
So this kid flew 5,000 miles to punch another guy in the face.
Yeah,
That again is his parents' fault. His parents should be saying that is not the. I mean, it probably is why he's worth the money he's getting because he probably put that on the platform.
it probably
He
did.
probably videoed it. And talked about it and talked about it, and
But
that's the kind of stuff that sells.
that's not the end of it. So Doherty also added he pays the person's rent in the US, and he gave him one of his ex-girlfriends.
How do you give somebody another person? That's stupid.
Yes, I know. No, and he also God, where was it? Let me see. Okay, let me get back to it. Yeah, so he also showed a spending of his credit card and a picture of a credit card, and so yeah, so he's never been shy or afraid to flaunt his wealth and possessions. On December the 4th, 2023, he posted on X with an attached screenshot reportedly showcasing his credit card spending over the past 2 weeks, which was reportedly to the total of just under $250,000.
So let me listen. We all understand it's never a good idea to act like you are flaunting something on YouTube, especially when it's fake and phony. Like we've been accustomed to seeing people claiming they got this car and live like this, and they live like trash or squalor. But you do those types of things. It's just a lack of maturity. And again, I don't blame him for being young and stupid. But again, you've got to blame his parents, I think, a lot for what he does. And they allow him to do it because, again, he's their meal ticket now at this point in life. I don't know what their background is, if they had money before he started doing this.
I don't think they did.
Well, and so this is their thing. This is their cash cow now. So, and I know a lot of people who will do a lot of things just to be around somebody who is popular and rich. Those two things are a disaster for people who are, poverty stricken, no morals, and are looking to be in the limelight, especially for women. Women are the ones who, and that's why you can't blame him if these women are doing the OnlyFans because that's recognition for them to a certain degree. They think they're hanging out with him and they get to be invited to parties and get special gifts and stuff. That's the vulnerable women are the easiest women to put in those types of situations. Now, it makes the man more despicable by taking advantage of these vulnerable women. But again, sometimes people just make these bad decisions and have to learn from him after the fact.
Yep, he wrote on this post. This is what he said on this post after showing that. He went, "Talk shit all you want. You wish you can spend this much on your credit card in these 2 weeks."
No, because responsible people don't spend that much money in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, but that's what he put. That's what he posted. Of it.
Even if you could spend $250,000, do you think you would?
Mate,
in a week.
I could spend $250,000 on a bottle of whiskey, and that'd be planked away somewhere as an investment.
Yeah, just sitting somewhere.
Yes.
Yes. Like, listen, if you're gonna invest in something and you spend $250, or you're gonna buy some property, you spend on $250 in a week. Get it? But I don't think I would sit there and rack up $250,000 on a credit card just because I could.
Yeah. And also, should a 21-year-old be driving us?
Hold on a second. Look at the ladies in the. Of course, the ladies can spend $250,000. Nova and Liz.
Mate, they would spend $300 on the credit card without telling you. They're telling them they think, "What did you spend?" I don't know. And there's boxes from Amazon all piled up at the door.
I swear you're looking in you're looking in my life because I swear every day my wife has something from Amazon coming every day. No joke.
I just know women, mate. I just know women. That's why they ended up.
Yes,
That's why I
you
ended up
do.
just drinking beer, mate.
Mm,
A beer doesn't disappoint you, and a beer doesn't complain when you bring another beer home.
that's right.
But
And listen, and the beer doesn't matter if they, if you don't finish.
yes,
The beer's just fine. You don't
that's another
finish. That's
matter.
it.
I think you need to keep that bit one private, mate. But again, we've known people in our little segment of YouTube who hang around people just to. I'm not going to use the word fame, just to get notoriety.
Hmm.
We've seen it here too. But would you think it's wise letting a 21-year-old drive a supercar?
No, absolutely not. But he's not the first or the last. Just because he's on YouTube, there are a lot of millionaires, multimillionaires in the world who give their kid with no experience behind the wheel a brand new flashy car as their first car. There are a lot of people who do that because they have the money and they can do it. I mean,
Well,
no big deal. But I don't think it's, and I'm iffy on both. I'm iffy on that. I mean, I don't think a $250,000 car would be appropriate, but if it was my kids, I would think I would not necessarily have a problem with buying them a nice car as their first car, but not a $250,000 car.
if he was my kid, he would have been beaten by now, and I would have been in jail.
You say he would have been beaten in jail. No, because if it was your kid, he wouldn't have been acting like that. Even if he
No,
had this money,
definitely wouldn't.
he would not have done all these types of things.
But we have to. I mean, you do make a good point. We have to look at history and young men with fast cars. Look at James Dean, brought that Spider. I think it was a Spider car. Do you know? Have you ever heard the story behind this?
What now?
So the
Behind
story of James Dean and his car.
No.
It's going a little bit off, but it's a really cool story. So, you know Alex McGuinness,
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
So he met James Dean, and James Dean goes, "I've got a new car," and so I went, "Okay." So you showed him this car, and suddenly, and this is Alex Guinness's words, he just changed. Something just came over him, and he said, "Do not drive that car. If you drive that car, you're a dead man." Basically, couple of days later, James Dean was found, crashed his car and died in the car crash. But it's very mean that a young 21-year-old driving that car in the pouring rain while texting or messaging people on the phone, or even on the phone
with somebody else in the car too.
Somebody else in the car. They're lucky to survive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think the police should throw the book at him, because he not only endangered him and his passengers' lives, he endangered other people's lives. Because that car aquaplaning could have just skidded into other people.
That's what they were saying. He better be glad it was raining, because there was not that much traffic on the road, and he didn't accidentally kill somebody else or even seriously injure his friend.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, people were speculating that he bought his friend this really high-end jet ski, and they think that he kind of like gave him that to kind of help prevent him from being sued.
That's not much of a friend.
No, listen. But again, sometimes people grow up faster than others. So you'd be surprised how many people in his circle are kind of starting to go, enough is kind of enough, and start falling out and or staying behind, rather than where they would be with him all the time. Because I know I've had friends that had a lot of money, and then when they start acting weird, because it happens to everybody. Well, it happens to a lot of people once they work their way up to a certain level, and then they start being flashy and doing all these things. It's really, really fun for a while. But sooner or later, somebody is either going to get tired of it, or somebody's going to end up being broke again. And I got tired of it really, really quickly.
Yeah, it does. You do find that. I do like Nolan's made a very good suggestion. I don't know if it's. I don't know how you do it, but she said this.
Well, the commercial for the guy who played, he just got traded to the Jets. They built a Taco Bell in his house. That's what the commercials are about.
Yeah.
He loves Taco Bell, and they wanted him as an ad, so they built a Taco Bell in his house.
And Spiker's made another good point. The Neon, so I'm going to say it is Neon, is just as bad as him. Yeah, he is. There is a generation of YouTubers who think they can get away with everything. And it turns out they can't. They shouldn't. Why should they? Because they've got money.
Sorry, I had to step away to get my water because I was kind of coughing. And yes, I am not drinking today. I'm actually drinking just water, believe it or not.
Smart move. Very smart move.
Yeah, but you know what?
Sure
He's right.
You sure? Yeah, you got
He's right,
problem, Brian. Yeah, you sure that isn't a glass bottle we're here swigging and the glass cap turning off?
It's my Yeti. My Yeti. But there is. I mean, there's a whole slew of people. I mean, look at it this way. There's a guy, and everybody has seen these, and they're funny. He dresses as a bush, and he hides in the planter, and he scares people. Some people think that shit's funny. Some people don't. I find it funny to see some people's reactions and scaring people, but after a while, it's kind of like, dude, that's kind of an old shtick. Why are you continually doing this stuff? It's kind of stupid now.
Yeah, that's very true. I think the guy you're talking about, one of the guys who does that is a guy called Aaron Caswell, and he's a British YouTuber, and he does that exact same thing, or he used to, but now he does individual videos, but now he's gone through. He's had his own personal issues, and he's gone through his own personal issues, and he's got his coins of sobriety now.
Hmm.
You know, so but he still does. He goes around. He goes around with the Beast.
So you're talking about the Beast guy? I think that they're coming after him for some type of improprieties.
No, not the Beast, not him.
Oh, Mr. Beast, not Mr. Beast.
No, not Mr. Beast. He's going after the Beast, the world's strongest man. Used to be one of the world's strongest men.
Oh, okay. Oh, the actor, the big tall guy?
He's not tall, but he was, God, what's his name? Let me find his name. I forget his name now. Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall. Yeah. I've seen him doing videos now.
Yeah.
But wasn't he in like the Dragon movie or something?
No, Yates is a person who doesn't like him. That's the other guy, and he played the Mountain.
Yes, the Mountain. That's right.
Yes, he played the Mountain. But he goes, Eddie Hall does his now all these and he goes, he bought himself a light tank, like ex-British military light tank.
Oh my gosh.
It was just pretty funny. But these two do videos together, and it's pretty funny there.
So here's what I always thought. I mean, if you can actually make a decent living doing YouTube, everybody would love to do it. I mean, you'd love to be monetized and make a couple of extra bucks here and there. It's great, especially if you can do it part-time, and then if it takes off and you can actually do it, do something that you enjoy full-time. That is perfect. That's great. No one should ever have a problem with that. My thing is I believe that there is a lifespan for any sitcom, any drama, any show that you watch. There's a lifespan. And if you're doing this kind of stuff, you have to understand everything at some point comes to an end. And some people rot away on the sunset when they're at the top of the game, and some people keep milking until everybody's looking at them and cringe and like, why would anybody watch this stupid shit?
It's like A1 auditors. When people watched A1 auditors, they thought they were doing some good, so people watch them. Yeah, we do this, we do that. Now more people are turning against them than being with them now. They're seeing That sorry, I was just laughing
They're
at an
just a
overhead.
nuisance.
Yep, I've got a new title, Brian.
Lord Commander.
It's Then what was it? Okay, let me guess this. Right, I'll get this right. This is my new title. I won't put it down because it's a bit ostentatious. So, I'm the 999th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, King of the North, and also the Warden of the North.
Okay, Warden.
Okay, so definitely the Lord Commander. So, thank you, Nova, for recognising.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know
like
what
I
kind of
say,
conversation you guys have when I'm not around. I just don't
you don't want to know, sweetheart. You don't want
know.
to
I don't
know.
want
But
to
oh
know.
god. Okay, compose. A1 auditors. Everybody first watched them and they thought they were doing some good. Then all the people now are seeing antagonizing people in the street, antagonizing the police. And no, Jack Doherty doesn't need antlers.
It's funny.
But that's what I mean. It's running its course.
Yeah, it runs its course. Everything. See, and that's what I keep saying, and I've said this before, even when you're watching some of the stuff, and I keep going, why are they still talking about the same old BS over and over again? For me, it's me. My patience for that stuff it's really really low.
Yeah,
I'd like to see people who are constantly involving their things and constantly improving on their creativity. If they're and constantly coming up with different topics and subjects to talk about. But there's so many conversations you can have about mics around. So many topics that you can have about uh, whoever is the scapegoat of the day to make you feel good about yourself. I mean, talk about topics, talk about building and planning things and how you want to improve your channel and talk about those types of things. Like this. This is having a conversation about things that are in the spotlight, things that are in um,
Hmm.
current topics
Yeah.
people are interested in. Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I mean, we're not talking about bringing drama or anything like that.
Mhm.
This is just what's happening now, and it makes a good conversation point that
Y-
YouTube is bringing up this generation of rich brats who think they can get away by doing anything they
mhm.
want.
Well, it's not even just the brats. I mean, you got old people, older individuals that are out here trying to do the exact same thing. And you know what? And it's so funny to me because my son is on YouTube Kids,
Yeah,
and you'd be surprised how many adults are on YouTube Kids making these weird ass voices and playing these weird ass games for kids, but they're adults being and acting like kids. And I can't understand why YouTube thinks that's appropriate for YouTube Kids channels.
and also, I hate to say it, appropriate when people use apps to talk wrongly to
Oh
children,
yeah, oh yeah. Well, there's
which
apps now and games and every video
yeah,
games too.
but we've seen this on our community. One person doing this now,
Oh
done this.
yeah, yeah.
Not
Yep, I know you're
mentioning
talking about.
names.
Yep, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he is all out there. You can delete the videos all you want, but trust me, somebody has got those videos and will use them against you.
It's one of those things. Again, for me, this is just from my vantage point. You got to grow
Mm.
because if I feel as if my trajectory is this way, and you're just going to plateau here, sooner or later I'm just going to keep going, and I don't look backwards. I'm going to always keep looking forward. So there are people that I like to maintain and have a relationships with that I know that are constantly trying to do things better. I know you
Hmm.
always ask, how can you improve your channel? Do you think this topic is good? People who are like you and the people that I know we have in our circle are the ones that I know, and that's the only reason why we keep the circle small, is because other people aren't necessarily looking for that type of constructive criticism and insight. Other people are just going to go out and do what they want to do, whether other people think it's going to serve a purpose or better interest in their best interest or not. They just do it. and that's the A1 auditors. You know, somebody in their orbit is saying, "Stop doing this dumb shit." They aren't listening to them, and they're just going around and thinking, "Oh, I'm doing the world a better service by educating people on, what police officers can and cannot do." I mean, nobody gives a fuck.
And also, who's going to listen to a person who's never been to, who's never studied? He reads only goes on YouTube and thinks, "Oh, I could say that because that person's right." Well, no, not really. No, he's done it wrong.
So let me ask you this question then: Is them still auditing them?
I haven't heard of him. Probably. Let's have a quick squeeze. We have a quick squeeze here. A little searchy search.
A little search.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was one of the ones who were like really just annoyed the hell out of me, because you go in and you want to have people do all these FOIA requests, but you don't do anything with the FOIA request. You're just doing it. And there are a lot of people, news organizations, they do these things and they are breaking the news, getting the details behind stories that these FOIA requests can do.
Oh yeah. Audit them is still doing it.
Oh yeah, and of course, Dr. Davis still. Please tell me Dr. Davis is not doing the goat stuff, right? Still the goat. Oh my God, that's so stupid.
Dr. Dave, dear Professor. Wow, you're so many subs he's got.
Oh, I know he's probably. Well, those are all kind of manufactured, but it is what it is. I don't care too much about talking about him. And M Corner, M Corner. I think Audit Them has tried to sue just about anybody and everybody. I think he tried to sue Dr. Dave, or they're still going back and forth between the two of them and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, he's still going after Audit Them, or as he calls him, Goat Boy.
Goat Boy, that's so stupid. I mean, that's just grow the fuck up, bro.
That's going back into our past now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going back from and that's my thing. Sooner or later, you would sit there and go, I'm kind of sick of this same old stupid shit. I can't keep doing. But you know what? He's a lonely person. I think he's retired, and that just gives him his joy. So let him have it.
Let's see something. I'm going to see something here. I'm going to go to Social Blade, because Social Blade is a good program to use. I'll use.
Oh yeah.
So let me get this, put that up there. So, wow, he's got his channel is a B-. It's not very big it doesn't earn very big for the amount of subs he's got.
That's a clue for you right there.
So his monthly earnings. This is in British, because you've got to remember I'm using British Social Blade.
Oh, I can do it over here too. I got it.
Yeah. So it's £50 to £795 a month. Estimated yearly earnings £596 to £9,500.
So his estimated yearly earnings is anywhere between $91 to $1,000.
I've got different over here. These are estimated yearly earnings £596.
So it says every day. No, not every day. So every week he's been getting like 10 plus users. And so what is it? I'm looking at. Where did you see how many?
Okay, hold on.
How many members?
Yeah, I can share the screen here. Okay, share screen. Okay, that one there. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's his channel.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking at one that is not that.
Yep,
and it's got his picture on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can see that's his channel, yeah?
Yes.
That's his thing channel. So if I go down, that's how much he earns in the British money.
Gotcha.
But if I go show you there, that's the most important bits there. He hasn't gained any subscribers.
So I've got a C plus according to me, with a total yearly earnings of $1 to $17. Woo-hoo!
Oh yeah, I've got a good one too.
Yeah, you bring mine up for the viewing pleasure.
Okay.
Oh, so Dr. Dave, Debunker of Frauditors, I looked at Dr. Dave, the Beer Professor. That's what I saw.
Yep. No, that's his full channel.
So he doesn't go by Dr. Dave, the Beer Professor anymore?
No, that's his channel that he's on. That's got the 2,000. That's got the 200,000 odd subs.
So does he not maintain the Dr. Beer Professor?
I don't know. That may be his second channel.
Because he must have the different channel.
He's got two backup channels.
Because this one was created in 2006, but it only has 2,000 subscribers. He must have got rid of this one.
You got Dr. Dave, Fraudster Terminator.
Say what?
Dr. Dave, Fraudster Terminator.
I don't know. Is that him too?
Yeah.
Huh.
And you got Dr. Dave, Professor.
So Liz is saying that he has several channels now.
Yeah.
Well, bring up drinks and discussions. Let's see what we got.
Okay. Can you put give me your link and the thing in the back chat, then I'll put it up.
Yeah, it's just drinks ampersand.
Yeah, no, but there's so many channels of drinks and discussions.
That's me.
Yeah. All right. Let's see that. Let's come back here. Okay, there you go. Apparently
Killing
you
it.
were
Killing it. Killing it, y'all.
Woohoo! Okay, let's see me now. Okay.
Preach, Liz. Preach.
Okay, so this is my channel.
Oh yeah.
£4 to £67 a year. Woohoo! £6 a month. I'm winning.
When are we going to have that $10 revenue bash? We're going to celebrate $10. We generate $10 in a month.
I'm going to buy a bottle of MD 2020.
After taxes, that's probably all you can actually afford.
No, yeah, no, don't get taxed on £10 over here.
Give me a second. I'll be right. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Hold it down.
All right. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm getting a drink. But what do you think, people in the panel? Do you think that the YouTube has helped to grow up a certain type of brat who think they can constantly do things and get away with doing stuff? Oh, wait your answer. Exactly, M Corner. Exactly. Like I said, we've seen this with people like Jack Doherty, with people like Neon, and other people like that, and we also seen it with I totally agree on that one, M Corner. I do. I've seen what you wrote. And even A1 auditors. these people go up to the police and they start antagonizing them so they can get arrested, and then try to claim, so they can try to sue them or get money from them. I don't think so, Liz. I don't think so. YouTube has helped to platform this. Normally, if a kid walked up to somebody and done that, the kid would have got just a little dry slap and sent back home. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, again, you've got a point there. You got a point, but sometimes if you're successful enough for YouTube, that is your job. Now, okay, there's indeed, social media is a whole new, different, dynamic part of society which never existed before in any other way. If that makes sense, yeah, it does make sense. It really does. We are very changed. We have changed the way we view and consume content nowadays. I've said this before about Amazon. It's very uncommon. It is very uncommon. There's no stability in YouTube. That is very true. But I think once you become famous enough on YouTube, there is ways and means of making money without having to have YouTube monetization and stuff like that. You know, the companies are going to go over for people who've got like over 1.8 million or up to 10 million subs. But it's true, Liz. Amazon have changed the way we view and even consume content now. They've changed it. Remember, they started off as a big company. Now they're deliveries, foods, and you can get almost anything you want, and you even watch movies on Amazon now. So they have changed our society. That's the truth. But again, we're trying to talk about rats on YouTube. That's what the main thing is. We have seen this. I don't know who he is. Let me have a look at this guy. Tim Pool. I'm not finding much about him, M Corner. Can you give me a link or something so I can see who this person is? Hold on, let me do this for you. Okay. Can you post me a link about him so I can see who he is, mate? Because it would be interesting. Okay, let's see this. Okay, I've heard of Rubin and I've heard of Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson writes a load of crap. I haven't interacted with him, but I know who Benny Johnson is. Hold on, let me click this out. So, well, Benny Johnson's so full of shit. He doesn't know. No, it really confuses a lot of things. All right. Okay. So this is what one paper said. They were duped into working. That they were the victims of alleged crimes and have done nothing wrong. Well, damn. Well, their information is so. I don't understand it. They act like, look, I don't really care. I think America's in the middle of a turd sandwich right now, to be honest. And you have been in for a while. But even over here, people act like nobody's done nothing wrong. You know, politically, there are people complain about Labour. They're saying, and they're putting all the blame onto Labour, when in fact it was Tory policies that done it. You know, again, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. The only way you know if you're going to do it is if you're going to use your vote. If you vote for Trump, you vote. What was it? Well, Harry, yeah. Well, if you vote for her, you vote for her, and if you vote for Trump, you vote for Trump. But they said that also about Brexit, mate. They said that Brexit, that the Russians were doing propaganda and people believing in this, and I've never seen no Russian money. There was no Russians there handing out Russian rubles at the ballot boxes in my area.
Well, there are some burning of the ballot boxes here in the States. So did you hear about that? I don't know what you guys were talking about. I just heard boxes burning. But there's some guy that they're trying to hunt down. They're just going in these heavily Democratic areas and setting the ballots for early voting, setting them on fire.
Well, it would be weird if we were talking about burning crosses, wouldn't it, Frank? You'd it'd be weird if we were talking about burning boxes. crosses. You'd be what the fuck happened?
What?
Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Trust me. I say things at the top of my head sometimes. It's a habit I've done. I've upset a few people once because I was at my mate's house. Mate got a new girlfriend, and I said something stupid about the Chinese. She turns around, she goes, "But my family's Chinese."
Uh-oh.
And yeah,
open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah, it was like that. But we're talking about now. The conversation's gone to Russian involvement with political channels, YouTube channels like Benny Johnson. How they were duped.
I don't know who Benny Johnson is, but I do know that there have been several attempts through outside influences, whether it be Russia or not, to try to influence the direction one way or the other. And some of it has to do with policies, but also some of it has to do with, I believe, on there are hostages that we have of theirs, and they want to be able to maybe exchange hostages and a bunch of other stuff that that I'm not aware of. But there's a lot of influences that are into, especially now more than ever in American politics. Big money and Russia are big influences in the political landscape.
It's not that it's the political YouTube channels have been doing it. Russia's been using. Apparently, Russia's been given money for them to do.
Yeah, they got shut down. They got caught and they got shut down. I don't know if there's any legal ramifications, but I think it was like 4 of them were running this political show, and they were being funded by one of the Russian oligarchs.
And apparently, your Department of Justice is looking into it.
Exactly, M Corner. You're right. They want to sow doubt and discord in the West. Any type of chaos that they can kind of plant in this in our democracy is a win for them. See, I told you that America is not as great as it used to, as they say they are. This socialist, or not socialist, but this capitalist society that they are touting is not what you in the world needs. It's Russia's false propaganda is to do exactly what M Corner is saying, cause dissension and distrust in our um, democratic system is right on par with what their main
I
purpose is.
I think it's because America is still a young country.
Oh,
Technically, it's
okay. Hold on. Let me give Liz credit too. Sorry, Liz. That's what she's saying too.
right. Okay, there you go. I think it's because America is still a young country. If you're talking about age compared to the
Yeah,
rest of the world, compared
I
to the
think.
rest.
Is it next year or the year before or the year after? 2 years that we'll be 250 years old? Because I think we're
Um,
only 248 or 246, 247, 248, 249.
okay, I'm
I'm
not
sure
too
M
sure.
Corner knows. But it's about, I
Yeah,
think it's in 2 years we'll be 250 years old as a country.
and it's still learning things. I mean, look at
Absolutely.
Britain. Britain had to go through a process.
hmm
Britain was made up of 4 individual kingdoms at first.
mm
Then, after wars, that changed. Peace. Then one one queen died without no children. They had to invite the Scottish king to take over the throne. He took the throne, and the rest is history. Because
mm
the rest of the all European royalty come from this. The, and you also can't forget the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was made after the Barons' Revolt,
hmm hmm
and it is a keystone of American law, as well as the English Bill of Rights.
hmm Well, let me ask you this question since we kind of changed the subject a little bit to the
Mhm.
politics. Did you see or hear the Trump New York speech and the speakers from yesterday?
Okay, no, I didn't. It was not a big thing up here, but I did look, and I did look what somebody posted, and I was absolutely disgusted by it. It was absolutely disgusting and wrong.
So let me tell you my take. I knew of that guy, Kill Tony. He has a podcast. He was actually really funny because he was part of the Tom Brady roast.
Okay,
A little off color, but he still was funny. This failed in comparison to what he normally is doing. I mean, he went so super low that it is undeniable. It was racist, horrible. It was unspeakable to have that kind of stuff at a rally. Now, listen, if it was a comedy show, it's not my type of comedy. I don't have to watch it.
definitely not.
but to have it on the stage of a person running for president, the president of the United States is supposed to be representing everybody, not just your own Republican Party or just the certain Democratic or certain constituents that look like you.
Mm.
It's crazy. And yeah, I saw he was talking about a guy with a hat on his head, and he said, "Oh, it looks like a friend of mine." And yeah, we went and we did some Halloween something, and we were carving watermelons. And I was like, "What? He's
The
talking about black people and watermelons? What?"
was it?
I mean,
I
um,
think I think it was that bad. I think what he said was that bad that even the Trump administration of saying, no, we're backing away from this one.
no, well, they're trying to clean it up. But here's the thing: the Trump organization or the people who are running the campaign, they vetted all the jokes.
Mm.
They allowed all these jokes to be read. They vet speeches. They want to make sure that the speech is going to be on brand. They want to make sure it fits. But it's not even him. Then he had one of the guys that runs his campaign, I forgot the little short bald-headed guy's name, saying, America is only for Americans. This is the kind of rhetoric that they were spewing in New York.
How can America be just for the Americans? Was founded in immigration.
Immigration, we are welcoming. That's why the French gave us the Statue of Liberty, because this is a land for all.
And that's how you got the 13 colonies, because the 13 colonies were from French, Spanish, British, Dutch. We forget the other lesser countries.
I don't either. I don't remember either.
But there is the states of Germany. The states of Germany there. The people have moved from there to America to find a new life. And it wasn't about, I'm not going to say they were patriots.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If it was just the joke, maybe somebody can say, that's his brand. That's what he does. But when you couple in Stephen Miller, thanks him corner, saying that it's only for Americans, for only Americans, and then you have these other speakers saying how all Democrats are horrible and deserve to be either locked up or taken off the face of the earth. I mean, it was horrible, horrible hate speech the entire time they were in New York. And how anybody can try to justify it is just not
moronic.
being honest with themselves, or they're just morally inept.
I would call it moronic. I would use the word moronic.
I would say moronic as well. And then shit wasn't funny. The shit wasn't funny. When you talk about a whole demographic of people, that shit's not funny.
I can understand if they said about Wales.
I mean, it's on par with Donald Trump saying immigrants coming from S-hole countries because they were the majority of the people in those countries are black.
Yeah. There's a Facebook page I use all the time. I'm not going to say what it is. Right. And the rhetoric from them, if you're brown and follow a different religion, you shouldn't be in this country.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And I point them out in the hypocrisy, and they go, no. They're like, no, that's not. And I went, yeah, you're being hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
And if a person, and then no, I'm not. You're just doing thing. You're picking on one for crimes that a few of them happened, and it did happen. But how many other people have done those crimes, and you're not saying a bad word about them?
Mm. I never understood this when it comes to philosophies, principles. Not saying that everyone in the MAGA movement are racist.
Hell no.
But all racists are backing the MAGA movement. Listen to what I said.
Yeah.
Not all MAGA people in MAGA are racist, but all racists are backing the MAGA movement. Proud Boys, KKK, the Aryan Brotherhood, every known hate group backs MAGA.
Is the KKK still a thing?
I don't know if they're still as popular as they used to be because all the other hate groups, but I believe they're still an organization.
Damn. Do you know they're not that big? And they did try to. Sorry, they did try to make a British thing, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I don't understand. We have a lot of like you said, we're a young country. We've got a lot of back hill area country, podunk people who still believe that they are the inferior race, that this is their land and nobody else's land. You can't get them to mix and all this other stuff with any type of minority. It's really if you ever come to the States, try driving through Alabama and Mississippi. I've done that drive. Didn't stop a single moment.
I've watched Top Gear try to drive through Alabama.
Man,
that was so funny.
And and it's funny because you're talking about channels. There are channels that actually go. Some black content creators, they go to the most racist cities in the United States, and they try to get these people to talk to them, like them, and all that kind of stuff. And they videotape it, and these people don't care if they're on video with this hatred. They just don't care. That's who they are,
It's just wrong, isn't it? It really
dude.
is. I mean,
I Go
sorry,
ahead.
no,
No, go ahead.
carry on.
I don't know what I was going to say. I was just in a flow.
Okay, so no, but we have. I mean, people. Okay, so in Britain we've got racism. We'd be fools to say we haven't got racism, but it is not like US. It's US seems. I mean, you're forgetting that US is really is just getting over Jim Crow laws. Because Jim Crow laws got taken away in the 1960s, didn't they? And there's still people old enough to remember Jim Crow laws. We'd never had that type of thing over here.
There are people. Listen, slavery was abolished in 18 something, right? In the 1800s.
Yeah.
It took till the 1950s for them to pass the Civil Rights Act. Now, we're not talking about slavery. And it wasn't Equal Rights Act. It was the civil, just to be civil with minorities in this country. We had to pass legislation for people to act civil toward us so we could sit at the same countertop at a restaurant or at a bar, to be able to use the same restrooms. And then we had to get rid of segregation. All those types of things, years and years, decades and decades after the Civil Rights Act was passed. That's what people keep misunderstanding when people say, well, slavery was a long time ago. Come on, that was a long time ago. The Civil Rights Act in 1964, thank you, M. Corner, for putting that number in my head. That was all 100 years later. Excuse me. 1,000 years later.
Can I just say
no, 100. That's 100 years.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Anything. Carry
Can
the
I just say that Britain abolished the Atlantic slave trade in 1812 and set squadrons to Africa to capture the slaver ships.
You get all the slave ships, yeah.
And people have a go at Britain for saying the slave trade. Oh, right, we did make a lot of money, but also with the slave trade, what a lot of people don't recognise is that how many African countries got rich from the slave trade too. But catching their own people and sending them off to Portugal, to Spain, to Britain and France.
Look, you liken slave trade now to when they call it human trafficking now, where people are trying to get these young girls and sell them into this adult stuff, and you get these women, your drugs, drug mules, all those types of things that are still happening today, because there are despicable human beings, and it is just horrible how people can act toward another human being. And then you start putting this in the political realm, and you start talking about people who are claiming that all Democrats eat babies, all Democrats want to have abortions after birth, all Democrats are like this. Something's screwed up with people's minds today, and I just don't understand. I am a centrist, but I lean, of course, left. I'm more Democrat than I am Republican. But I wouldn't dare anybody sit there and tell me that I eat babies. I would look at you as a fool. And if you're sitting there telling somebody on your platform that Democrats are all these evil bastards and they're all this and stuff, you probably don't even realize that you're saying that about somebody that you probably hang out with every day, you work with, knowing you wouldn't say that shit in their face, because when you say it out loud to other people, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid.
Well, I can honestly say Austin Powers ruined that for Scottish people when he said, "I ate a baby."
Oh.
Have you ever seen Austin Powers, the second one?
It's been a while. I remember Austin Powers, but I didn't really care for it.
The fat Scottish guardsman called Fat Bastard, and he goes, "I ate a baby." So you sort of rude that, but it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous to see people say that they take. I heard they take babies' bloods to eject them to make themselves younger, and
it's so here's the funny thing, and I always liken this phrase to Megan, because because she would always say, people have to get out of their own echo chambers and really listen to what people are saying and not just hear things that they want to be told or only hear things that they want to hear. These are the guys, they're some of the, I don't know if you heard of and I'll watch them a lot because I think they're hilarious, how they make fools out of people. They're the good liars. The good
Yeah.
liars go to these Trump rallies and they say these things. And when you take them out of their echo chambers where everybody's talking about the MAGA stuff, it sounds ridiculous what they say. And sometimes when they hear themselves saying it out loud, they kind of go, "Oh no, I don't want to talk anymore," or "Oh, did I say that? Oh." I'm like, that's how stupid you really do sound. I mean, if you get away from Becky and Karen that you were walking in the lines with and start talking to other people about your views and how you want to be able to, discuss, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to sit there and say, you sound like an idiot. Because there were people who came to the grassy knoll thinking that John F. Kennedy was going to be resurrected before Biden was inaugurated into the White House.
You're shitting me.
Yes, no, they were thousands of people showed up to the grassy knoll because they said John F. Kennedy was coming back.
America's got a hell of a problem with religion.
But then that's the thing. This is the thing. Then when that stuff happens and then nothing comes true, they don't go, "Oh man, that sure was a stupid for me to believe that." They just go on to the next one. It's the same thing about I had friends of mine talking about how despicable migrants were for eating cats and dogs. And then when it came out that it wasn't true, nobody went back and said, "Oh, you know what? I can't believe I fell for that one too. This is the third, fourth, fifth trick that I've been tricked. And you know what? I'm not going to fall for the okie dokie anymore."
Okay, I'm going to answer this question. I'd rather have Mr. Blobby than to thousands of people to attend a thing where they're waiting for a dead president to turn up.
Yeah, absolutely, I would. That's dumb.
To go up and say, "Look, JFK is coming." Oh, no, he
Well,
isn't.
well, can I answer to M Corner's
Yeah.
statement too? I believe Donald Trump, who is probably one of the dumbest rich people
Okay,
ever
I'm
there
just
was.
going to go to the toilet and be back.
Okay. I think Donald Trump was probably one of the dumbest rich people that ever walked this earth. And there are a lot of times people, including myself, attributed Donald Trump with success. Okay. Trump Tower, Trump this, everybody fell for it. Until he started speaking, and when he started talking about the birtherism with Obama and Obama wasn't an American and all that kind of stuff. What Trump has done, and he's done it successfully, is he has allowed people who are uneducated, people who have no idea about anything political, to feel as if they have a seat at the table. And I'm not saying to vote, and I'm not saying these people should not vote. I'm saying that he's given people who are totally ignorant when it comes to politics a microphone. Like what he's saying is the direction of what they think that they can spout off and talk about. And even though it makes absolutely no sense, Donald Trump is making them feel right at home, spewing the nonsense that he spews every single day. And it's not just me saying it, folks. There are a lot of people who fact check and tell you how many times he lied in office, how many times he lies per speech. He's probably in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most lies told and on a day-to-day basis. This is the Donald Trump that people are keep saying that he did some good things and he's good for the economy and he's things. I believe this, and I've been saying this a lot lately. Gas was cheaper when Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was cheaper when Jimmy Carter was president. And he's still alive, God bless his soul, at 100 years old. But if he was running for president, I'm not going to elect him thinking that he's going to get the prices back to where he had it when he was first ran for president. Thinking that you're going to live a life exactly like how Donald Trump had it before COVID is just it's I don't know how people can think that. It's never going to be the exact same way. And we went down from 9% inflation rate to about 2% interest rate now, or not interest rate, inflation rate. We're heading in a good direction. All these scare tactics that Donald Trump likes to use, I just don't understand how people buy it. And some of these people who are smart, or who I assume were smart,
Well,
that fall for this stuff.
over here, sorry, catch my breath. So over here, that Donald Trump, what happened there, is blaming Labour for interfering in US politics.
Say what again?
He's blaming the British government for interfering in US politics.
Who is? Trump is?
Yeah.
He'll blame anybody but his dictators. He'll blame anybody but Putin and Kim Jong-un.
Hold on.
Somebody in the back channel?
No, I was just getting this. I was getting a newspaper report because I don't use other people. So let's go for the Financial Times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's pretty on point.
Yep.
Okay, share screen. There you go. Hold on. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take this off. Yeah, so Trump accuses of UK Labour Party of interference in White House race. He's filed a legal complaint against the...
Oh, my God. Listen, the guy is already, and I hope to God my feelings and my indicators are correct. Early voting is off the charts over here. Early voting typically leads to a really good Democratic turnout. So the Democrats really did a good job, and that's why they would propel Joe Biden into office. I'm hoping that there is a huge early voting and all the way up until the end voting, and this is not even close. Even though the polls keep saying it's close, there are a lot of pundits and things, people that I've been watching and following, who say just because the polls are saying it's close, they don't believe that it's going to be that close when it comes to the electoral votes. The electoral votes means that Harris will win like the majority of the swing states, and it will not be really close.
It's just mind-boggling and very weird. It really is. I think the first time when Trump was in, I did think when Trump called, I thought, well, maybe he could do things a little bit better when he first came in. I found all the hysteria behind him a bit, when people complaining, dropping on the street, shouting and screaming, no.
Mm-hmm,
I did find that a bit funny. I thought, that is very strange. Now I'm thinking, well, he's had the chance once. He turned the White House almost into like Disneyland. He employed his family into positions which he should never
have done. Right?
Never have done. They haven't got a clue. Not even the world's top politicians would have had a clue to do that one. But he put his own son-in-law into positions of power. It's like, dude.
Well, look at it this way. Since you mentioned his family, think about this for a second. His wife hasn't been on the campaign trail with him every step of the way. His daughter and son-in-law, who were in the White House with him, are nowhere to be seen. All of his cabinet, if not most of his cabinet members, his chief of staff, and the generals under him, all have come out and said that they would never vote for him ever. He is a detriment to our country. These are people who know him better than what we see. When we see Donald Trump, what you think you're getting is the best version of him, not the real him. He's supposed to fake the funk. He's supposed to be this fictitious person in public. He's supposed to show us something that people will like to want to gravitate to. These are the people who saw him day in and day out. And those are the ones who are coming out and telling you not to vote for him. And if you sit there and think that you know better than they do, you're fooling yourself. You're a bigger idiot than he's playing you out to be. Because that's all Trump is doing. He's playing everyone for idiots.
Yeah, it seems a bit like that from me. But then again, I hold no bias. If you want to, I will say, if you want to change the situation, you got to use your vote. It's your
You gotta
voice.
vote. Get out there and vote. And
Vote.
I'm also with M Corner. I think he's already planning the exit strategy of when he loses. He's gonna claim an election interference all over again. He's also gonna tell everybody that Kamala Harris should not have been the person he was running against anyway. And he's gonna file a lawsuit that says that her candidacy was illegal, and he's gonna try to stop the certification if she wins. You heard it here, folks.
You heard it
First.
here first.
The Drinks Salon is the first place you heard it. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what he's going to do.
Oh, I bet he is. You've always got to have an exit strategy. Always got to, if you want to be perfect, try to lead a country, and you know you're not going to think, always have an exit strategy. That's why David Cameron left when the Brexit vote was won. Because he didn't plan this at all. They had, so the royal assent was given to the European referendum in 2013. Not a single thing was done. They just planned for the referendum. Referendum happened. I'm sure the people are going to vote against the thing. We're not going to leave Europe. No, because people have had enough of Europe. People have seen what Europe think, and we're not talking about the free trade. We're talking about the European Parliament trying to invoke laws into things in the European Parliament. Europe is a melting pot of different nations. These different nations have different attitudes. It cannot work together. It's generally, no, I'm cool. No, that's the thing. It's quite easy. You get stupid people to vote, and you get people who research. And I've done my research, and I looked at the thing, and I totally believe what I voted for was the correct move. But people have said that too, that Russia was behind Brexit. But there was no planning. They could have had 6 years of planning from 2013 to 2019 of planning strategies.
Did they have a concept of a plan?
No.
That was a joke.
There was no concept of plan. when we won, when the Leave vote won, David Cameron shat himself and went, right, mate, I'm off. I'm leaving now.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. There was no strategy for leaving. It took another 3 years to put a strategy there. Even then, it took bargaining over the time too to get it done, because there was no strategy. Nobody cared. The government didn't care. They put their heads in the sands and thinking, we're all right because the British people won't vote for leave. Well, we did, and we left. You know, we have an exit.
So when Trump was over there, what was your guys' view of him? Did you guys have a really good view of him when he came over? And
okay, I'm going to show you this. Okay. This is from one side, though, right? Let me do this. Okay. This is from the BBC. This was flown when he was visiting. Let me do this. We do things a bit different here, mate.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. I remember that now.
Yeah, we do things a bit different.
I do remember that.
Yeah. It was the reaction of Trump over here was some found it positive. I think the majority found it a bit negative. They were very negative towards him.
Yeah, he does hate that. Well, they had a naked one, I think, showed up here in one of the states. So I forgot what state it was, but it was a naked blow up like that.
Yeah, I think. But the majority, you had the small minority of that majority creating problems. The majority thought he was a bit of a knob and just didn't really care for him. And parts again, it's all parts. It's all parts. You get in every group. There's always a small minority that will always go overboard and go and do things either from the left and the right.
So did you know about what M Corner is talking about in Scotland? What he did?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know what he tried to do. There's a so he's building his. Actually, do you know Trump's half Scottish?
Yeah, I thought his grandparents were like migrants from Scotland or
No,
something
his
like that.
mother was Scottish.
Okay, that's what it was.
So Trump built a golf course, and he was buying up land to build the golf course. Unfortunately, he came across this old Scottish crofter. Now, Scottish
Right.
crofters are like the people of the earth.
Okay.
Yeah. He basically told him to feck off.
Okay.
And Trump tried to buy his land from him, and the crofter just went, "No, this is my house. This is where I'm
Right.
staying.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's buying from me." There was also the Scottish government got involved at the time, and it just turned out to be one big mess. And they found out Trump couldn't dictate what to do in Scotland, basically.
So how did he end up getting the land?
You can buy land.
No. So the story I got, and this might be two different stories. There was a place that he was going to go out there and he was going to build this Trump golf course. Promised the people of this town that there are going to be workers there. He's going to do all this other stuff there and, uh, create this great economy for them. And he just abandoned it and left and didn't do anything.
There is a Trump golf course in Scotland.
I don't know about that. If there is, that's not the one that he promised these guys.
Yeah, Trump International, Scotland, Aberdeenshire.
Well, there's got to be another one out there that he was planning on doing something, or maybe that's the one he built and then he brought in his own people and didn't do a whole lot for the community. It's one of those two. It's a whole look up Trump abandoned golf course in Scotland. That's another one.
Okay, this is what I've got. It said the man who brokered the deal for Donald Trump's first Scottish golf resort said the country is hoodwinked by the ex-president's claim it'd be a £1 billion
Yep,
pound
that's
project.
the one. Yep. Uh-huh.
And Neil Hobday, well, that's a name and a half, isn't it? Was a project director for Trump's controversial course in Aberdeenshire, which opened in 2012. Trump said he would spend £1 billion on the scheme, but this did not happen. Trump International Scotland said it invested hundreds of millions of pounds into the economy, and the company added it delivered on its promise to build one of the greatest modern links golf courses of all time. But Mr. Holliday told BBC News he felt hoodwinked and ashamed that I fell for it and Scotland fell for it.
Uh-huh.
He was a consultant project of golf of the Trump organization. And he said, I didn't even think he could raise the money to build the whole thing out. He wanted the golf course, and that was it. He was willing to fight the environmental battle and create his impression that it was a £1 billion project, and Scotland absolutely needed it. And he had never really had the money or attention of finishing it. He said, I felt hoodwinked and ashamed. I fell for it, and Scotland fell for it. We all fell for it. He was never going to do it.
So tell me this, from an outsider looking in, what do you think is and you guys in the chat, M Corner as well, what is the upside to having someone who has failed almost every aspect of life, 7 or more bankruptcies, a failed casino, a failed airline, a failed bid to own an NFL team, a failed college, if you want to call it, a university,
Trump University, a failed steak. Yeah, even had
steaks. Yeah.
Yes.
Fail everywhere you go. A failed marriage, cheating on his first wife with his second wife, cheated with his second wife or third wife with a porn star while she was at home pregnant or delivering a baby or something. In videos with everybody hates child predators, but you see the only person that's in the election cycle that you can actually say partied with a pedophile is Donald Trump. And you keep seeing people go and say, he's my guy. Somebody please make that make sense to me. Please.
I don't think it can make any sense. I don't think politics has to make sense. Politics is a very weird thing. I
It's
had,
the dumbest thing to me. I mean,
yeah,
I know a lot of people in politics, and again, it's the weirdest thing. You got to be a really different type of person to be in politics. It's an odd thing to do.
I had somebody moan at me because I voted for a party,
Hmm.
and they're saying, "Why did you vote? Why didn't you vote for this party?" Because I don't like them. But that means if you means you wasted your vote. Well, if I waste my vote, I waste my vote. But I stuck to my beliefs.
Hmm. Well, your beliefs should be more about policies, not a party. So if my party says, and a lot of people use this as a thing, the Republican Party is the party of Lincoln. The Republicans back then believed on equality and things of that nature. Those Republicans are not the same Republicans that you see with MAGA now. So if someone was telling me if I was a Republican because of Lincoln freed the slaves, I would look at them and go, "Yeah, that might be true, but this is not the same Republican Party that Lincoln was a part of. This is not even the same Republican Party that John McCain was a part of. The MAGA, I don't consider MAGA as Republican. MAGA is completely, solely, totally different, even though they are, followed by and,
Mm.
represented by a lot of Republicans. I still think that there's a hardcore, and I don't know why they don't stand up for more. But the ones who have are now voting for Kamala. They'd
Is
rather vote for a Democrat than their own party because Donald Trump is that bad.
is the Tea Party still a thing?
They still, I think they are, but they're not part of the political landscape as far as run for presidents anymore.
Okay, because they used to be. They were big at one time, weren't they?
Yeah, they were kind of going a little bit kind of haywire with. I think that was back when
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin was a part. Yeah, the Tea Party became MAGA. Good point. That's a very good equation there. Yep.
See, we had see our politics are based on things. So I voted for Labour because I'm working class, and was the working class party.
Hmm.
There may not be some more, but they still got the work. It's still the working classes. They still have the unions with them. I'm not a big fan of unions personally, but they speak more to me than Conservatives or Lib Dems.
Hmm.
The person that had a go at me was a Lib Dem supporter, and he said you should have voted for Lib Dems to keep the Tories out of Surrey or Conservatives out of London or Guildford, sorry.
Hmm.
And I went, I'm going to vote for who I want to vote for. I
Right.
don't like the Lib Dems, and I'll say the thing. So he goes, well, you're wasting your vote. Well, I'm using my vote.
Hmm. Hmm.
It'd be a waste if I didn't vote.
So let me ask you a question though. I see, and I believe that everybody has the right to vote for whoever you want.
Hmm.
I mean, but don't sit up there and try to tell me you're voting for Trump because you believe Trump, who is 80 something years old or close to being 80, is the person that you believe for the next 4 years is going to have the mental fortitude to deal with the pressures of what it takes to be the president. And here's the deal: when you're that old, you're damn near close to trying to talk him out to giving you the car keys so he doesn't keep driving anywhere. And you want to give him nuclear codes. That's the same shtick that they did with Biden. It's the same thing. And I was with you. I was with everybody. Fuck Biden and Trump.
Hmm.
Fuck this. That's the best we could do.
Do you know that's one good thing about Russia? About is how the nuclear codes are controlled. Because
Hmm.
Putin can order a nuclear strike. He could do,
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
commanders could go, "No, we're not doing that strike."
Hmm.
Unlike America, where the president says, "I want to nuke that place," they've got to follow.
Oh yeah, because he's a commander in chief. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Putin's officers and generals can go. You really want to do that? You sure you want to do that?
Well, they were saying. I think part of the books of Milley, he wrote in books, and I think even um, the chief of staff, I can't remember his name. They were like saying there would be in meetings, and they would actually have to talk him down on some of the stupid shit that he was wanting to do when he was president. They
Wow.
were advising him that that was not the appropriate response to take. And I think a lot of it had to do when those rallies were going on.
Yep.
He wanted to go out and bring in the military or something and just start firing. John Kelly, thank you, M. Corner, again for catching me on the when I my brain farts and I can't remember names.
So he
It,
wanted to go back to
he,
the 50s and 60s.
yeah, he wanted to go back and treat these protesters like in the civil rights era. Yes, and use police and all that kind of stuff. And he still believes, for whatever reason, and not John Kelly, Millie wrote in his book that he really regretted that moment when he had to walk across the street to the church when Trump held the Bible upside down just for a photo op. He said that was a big mistake.
I mean, how many of those Trump Bibles were sold?
Dude, I don't know, bro. But there is a YouTube channel where an actual pastor or somebody read it and was looking at
Yeah.
it, and he was like, "I cannot believe this is even a thing."
Wow. It is Trump. I believe that there's a following in Trump, but there's actually a cult-like following.
Absolutely, 100%.
I
It's
mean,
just like a cult. If he told them to drink the Kool-Aid today, all these jackass mega people would be drinking the Kool-Aid.
maybe that'd be a good thing. Just saying. Get rid of a lot of dumb people. I'll tell you that. No, but yeah, totally. It's American politics is very cult-like. It is. It is very strange for as a Brit to look down onto this and see this happening, and thinking, "Oh, you're still very infantile in how you deal with politics.
Mm-hmm.
You're still very infantile in how you deal with religion too."
You know, the gathering of uneducated, ignorant people is dangerous. And Trump has been smart enough to gather them. And now everybody is at their peril because of how dangerous these people really are. They believe that they have the most conspiracy theory beliefs, some of the far reaching, everything you could possibly think of. They believe some of the most nonsense I've ever heard, and they think that they're right. They think that they're 100% correct on everything he says.
Damn. Well, I'm going to put the link out there, and if anybody wants to come and join up, they can join us. I'm not too sure. We've only got a couple of people there. People start doing lives now at this time. They're following my example. Damn yous all.
I don't know what days people go live anymore. I mean, outside of joining you and possibly doing another live myself here and there, I don't really go unless Senior Citizen Saul puts out a video or something. I stick to my political stuff.
I'm not very good at lives by myself. I prefer having somebody up with me because then I can bounce off. Live single lives with me are a bit pointless. I just hate doing them. It's like I find them tedious. I prefer doing my little shorts and content videos. You know, which we should get in there. Actually, I think YouTube algorithm doesn't help my channel neither.
I think their algorithm has really changed a lot lately. Remember, I was doing a lot of shorts and stuff,
Yeah,
and I was getting 9,000, 10,000 views on just the shorts, and then I would get some followers that way. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I got down to like 5 views per short. And I thought, okay, maybe it's because I was talking about politics. I don't know, but something changed.
I'm using M-Corner gave me some good advice, which I was a member of the program for. I didn't really know how to use it, but now I do. So I'd like to thank M-Corner for giving me that advice to use in my shorts. Getting me some, but it's not getting me the views that I want.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. YouTube is not helping people here.
No.
It's just very, very weird.
It is weird. Well, again, I'm hoping come next week, tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, I'm hoping that the landscape for political discussions is going to be over. MAGA will probably go hide themselves in a closet or a basement somewhere, probably in the same basement they live in at their mom's house. And we can move on and start talking about other things other than the fact that we're going to have to hear Donald Trump claim he won, even if he lost.
He won bigly.
One bigly.
Well, it'd be interesting to see. I think it'd be a tighter race. I'm hoping Trump doesn't win because it'd be interesting to see the first U.S. women president.
I think everybody wants to see that. I think that's why you got a lot of old women, especially old black women,
Mm.
who are 100% pushing to not only see the first woman president, but the first woman is also black on top of that.
Yeah.
Forget
Well,
about it.
you would if you said that in the 60s and 70s, you'd got your head chopped off, which is true, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
But the women presidents or women leaders have been successful. We have to do it right. I hate to say it, but Margaret Thatcher in the 80s. Margaret Thatcher in the 80s is one of the strongest leaders in the world.
I would agree. I would agree with that one.
She frightened the Chinese. She frightened Gorbachev, and not even Reagan would argue with her.
But you know, there have been people in our political spectrum too that I always thought would rise up to more political heights, or maybe even the presidency. There was a lady, Condoleezza Rice, who I thought was really, really smart. You remember her name?
Yep. What about Bernie Sanders?
No, I'm not a big Bernie Sanders fan. He's a socialist guy. He's old too. Uncle Bernie needs to sit down, retire.
Yeah, we're talking about before. We're talking about years before.
Yes. And remember, at the inauguration, they made these memes of him because he was all bundled up and had his mittens on, and everybody would put Uncle Bernie, in different portions of their Photoshop him into pictures and stuff.
What about the other guy who was the general in the Gulf?
Colin Powell. He passed away, but I also thought he would have been a really good candidate for a president, but he didn't want to do any politics, but he did pass away.
Yeah. Hey, mate, how you doing? Hey, look, have you got a wrench? You're wrenched up. Hold on, I've got to wrench this dude up. There you go.
I said memes. Did I say memes?
I put the StreamYard
I
out
thought I
there
said
again.
memes. Why is Liz always on my grammar? I swear, I'm gonna have to find a Bible to throw at her tonight.
Don't do that.
Now, who is this person you're talking to? Keynes
Catharsis. Yeah, he's good talking to. Good channel. Recommended. I recommend his channel. If you want to drop your channel too, mate, you can do that.
Oh no, I'm good. Everybody knows who I am.
No. I'm talking to Kane.
Oh, okay. I was like, everybody knows me. I don't need to do that.
Everybody knows. Yeah. We also had a good conversations a couple of times, and it's a really good channel. There's no drama, no BS. So yeah, it's all good.
Cool.
So
last time you said that, you had me the topic of another person's live stream. Yeah, Brian, this guy's good. Yes, Brian, this guy's good. This guy's cool.
Maybe you should have just let him talk.
Maybe. Oh, gotta keep me in my place, Paul. You gotta put me in my place. Maybe put me in timeout because I'm in my feelings. Next time, put me on timeout because I'm in my feelings.
But that wasn't on my channel. That was in Spike's.
Was that on Spike's channel?
Yeah, it's on Spike's channel. Yeah.
Okay, I thought that for some strange reason. I knew you were on it, but I don't know whose channel I was on, and I forgot. And Spike had his channel.
That was on Spike's channel, and you tried to have a conversation, then you jumped in and you went, well, this and this, and he said, don't talk over me. Then next thing you know, there's it ended up in like a mini battle there.
Yeah, and he thinks I'm like his enemy or something. I'm like, dude, I don't even think about you, bro.
Yeah, he does, and you made a whole. He made a whole
Yes,
life out of
yeah,
you.
he did a live all about me or
Yeah,
something. He mentioned me. I was like, yay!
no.
I didn't know I had that kind of impact on other people, but
Yeah, you haven't had that since the VV days.
since the VV days, man.
You're very welcome, Kane, mate. Anytime. If you want to jump on, you jump on, mate? You'd be more than welcome. Yeah, you remember the VV days? Damn. The 20, the 13, 14, 16 hour lives.
I'm embellishing on the entire live, guys. He just mentioned it at the beginning. It came after he left Spikes. He went and did a live immediately, and he discussed me at the beginning. I don't know how long he talked about me or not, but apparently I've heard from other people that he still thinks that I am a thorn in his side for whatever reason.
Fair enough, mate. And well, next time I do a live, you're more than welcome to come and join up, mate.
Mm.
Don't you find that drama is like a circle? It always comes back to the same point.
Absolutely, it does, and it kind of made me feel a little bit more nostalgic, even though I don't really like bringing up Joey. But
Mm.
you have to understand, and Nova had mentioned it earlier, and so did Liz. That is where we all started. And I'll be honest, I told my story a long time ago. I went to Dr. Dave, and he was the first person to allow me because he wasn't even doing live streams. I was doing live streams,
Sorry to
and
upset.
then
Stop you, Hello, Prairie. How you doing? I hope
hey,
you're
Brad.
well, and thank you for being here.
But that's where we all met. We all gathered from points where it was toxic, it was unhealthy for just about everybody involved. And the only thing that I can say is that I have even Vic Ferrari. Vic Ferrari was not a fan of mine originally, nor Megan's, until he came and said he saw the light and he said he was wrong. And you know the rest of the story.
Mm.
And I've seen that same story with quite a few of other people who have since left that toxic kind of stuff.
Hold on. Are you saying that? Are you saying that Joey Miko is YouTube Jesus?
I'm not saying that at all. No. But it just goes to show you what you were talking about. There are people who still want to be stuck in that muck and that toxicity. There's a lot of people who want to just keep revolving and having that revolving door of BS over and over and over again. Whereas people like you and myself and others
Mm.
who are even come to your channel, they want to be entertained and or even have a discussion about things. And when you have a discussion about things, it's not about always people.
Yeah, even to my own detriment, because if I'd done more drama, I'd have more viewers. I would.
Oh, definitely you would. I mean, it's like that kid who's making $10 million, pranking
Yeah.
people, causing trouble. People like to see that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should go to the street and just start punching people.
Don't do that. You too old to run. You got bad knees. You can't outrun the cops. You be in handcuffs. We be trying to send you money to bail you out. We got to GoFundMe instead of we go hit the cash app. Hit the cash app for Paul.
It doesn't work like that in this country.
Oh, okay.
Just go up to somebody. What's your name, mate? Paul.
Uh,
That's my name. Don't use it.
Yes, you got to go around and berate. You got to berate tourists at destinations all over the UK. M Corner says.
Parades, tourists. Parades.
No, he corrected it. Berates. He wants you to berate them.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea.
Just make sure you have a lot of suntan lotion on when you're at those trains to berate these tourists.
I think that is hate speech over here, though, so that's another prison term.
What now?
Hate speech.
What's a prison term?
Hate speech. You can
That's
get
a prison term?
Yeah, over here it is. You can get to prison. Say if say if me and you in the street, right? And we had an argument. I started calling you the N word and all the other words that are racist. You don't have to do nothing. You can call the police, and I could be in prison. I could end up in prison for a couple of years for hate speech.
For hate speech? Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Now we have hate crimes. Like if you attack me and while you're attacking me, you call me the N word, that could
Mhm.
be under a hate crime, but not just by saying it.
Now, I can call you all the dirty words on Facebook, any social media page. Even if you're across from me, we had an argument right now, and I started using all the dirty words and all the racist words and everything. You can take those words, right? You can download this and send it to the police in Britain, where I am, and I could be done for under the Malicious Communications Act of 2009.
Wow.
I can be sent to jail or prison. No, we don't have jail. We can sent to prison. I can be sent to prison. I could be in the police cell. Next thing you know, I'm getting thrown around like a rag doll in somebody's cell there by little Brian.
That's crazy.
It is the truth. It is the truth. It's we have these laws are set in place in Britain.
Well, good for you guys. I think. I don't know if it's good or not. I to be honest with you.
No, there's no jails in Britain, Liz. There's prisons. We don't
Wait a
have the
minute.
jail and prisons thing.
Where are cops showing up at people's homes for social media posts? What
Yeah, but
country is that?
That's here. That's over here. That's due to the Malicious Communications Act of 2009.
What?
You're not allowed to You're not allowed to post any racist or any things that we consider that can be cause a riot or anything else or endanger other people's lives. You can be fined or sent to prison for that.
That's crazy. I've never heard anything like that before.
Yes, it's the truth. Some people are against it, but you got to remember there was times when people were just using social media to harass people, which causes people harm. If people are not through their mental health, it could seriously affect them, where they come to the point of self-deletion.
So that's when you hear people say that, and then you hear again the guy who's running for president say that America is a garbage dump now because he's not in office. This shows you right now how great America really is because we do have freedom of the speech, and we do have the ability to say these things without having to worry about cops showing up. And
we-
even is that Canada flag? Yes, Canada too. They should
Yeah.
parade saying in Canada that it happens in Canada
We
too.
do have freedom of speech, but you've got to remember there's consequences to freedom of speech.
Well, we have limitations. Yes, there are consequences to certain things.
Yeah, there's certain things, but I totally agree. If you're insulting somebody because of their race or insulting of their gender, and you're threatening to burn down places, and you're threatening to cause riots, that you should be in prison.
Well, here's what I think. I think, and this is we had these same conversations way in the back.
Mm-hmm.
People can get confused with freedom of speech, meaning what you can do anytime, anywhere, any place. That is only applies to you what you can do without being. It's not an arrestable offense if you're in public. So if you say something in the middle of Times Square, you should not be arrested for it, even if people don't like it. However, on social media, you are not in public. You are on someone's platform, a company's platform. You are using it as a privilege to them. They are allowing you to be here. There's a terms and there are conditions. And if you imply and if you go against, just like that kid on Kick, if you violate those terms, it's not violating your civil rights or your freedom First Amendment rights. That's you belong to them when you're on their platform. You can't say the same stuff like that even if you're in your own workplace.
Well, the way this British government sees it, if you've got like thousands of people thousands of people followers, right, and you have like a couple of hundred people, and you start saying, "I want to burn this building because it houses illegal immigrants, and because the Muslims are doing this, and the Muslims are doing that, and the illegal immigrants are doing this," that's when the government says, yeah, you're inciting riots, mate. You're inciting racial tensions." And that's when they'll go and arrest you. It's the incitement. They don't now. If I called you the N word, no, the police would look. You go, all right, you should have done that, and you again, but no, nothing's probably going to be done. But when you call it and when you've got hundreds of people watching you and you're saying this should be done, this should do this, and that's when the British government goes, oh yeah, you should just stop doing that. Especially because when we had the race riots over here quite recently, when people were posting that was inciting riots.
Right. Yeah.
People threatening to burn down buildings and smash up buildings. When all right, legal immigration is a big thing. It's a big thing over here. It's a big thing over in America. But there's women and children in those buildings too. You're
Idiots.
What happens if that building caught a light and that building died? And you found out you killed children in it. You should be prosecuted for when you've been saying things like that. It doesn't matter what age you are. Age is not a limit. Ignorance is not a defense in the eyes of the law.
Nope, it is not. And you know what? Who I blame some of the rhetoric of all that kind of stuff here in the United States? I blame squarely on the shoulders of Donald Trump. He is giving. So there used to be a time where you could sit there and go, all of this hateful rhetoric. Usually, I mean, you'd see it. But a lot of times these people were behind closed doors. They didn't really want people to know that they were this racist and this despicable. Trump gave them the megaphone, MAGA, but if you want to call it megaphone,
whatever.
He gave them an opportunity. He set the stage for them to have a spotlight front and center stage with him, along with all the other ignorant people in the world. Yes, fringe weirdos to the mainstream. He definitely did that.
Is definitely. I think it's the politics of the 80s and early 90s have helped to. The nucleus of the problem. Because in some of the politics, because we had to be political correct, and political correctness took over everything.
Well, the political correctness was always a thing for as long as I remember, and I think that they try to say that now. That they are trying to use that to not exploit, they're using that as a defense to the hate speech that they try to amplify. You know, everybody wants to silence us. They use silence too, or cancel, all those types of things. And that's when they're saying it's a freedom of speech if I could say whatever I want to say about whoever I want to say it about. And it's politically, if you want to be politically correct, you can be politically correct, but I'm gonna speak my mind because I got freedom of speech.
There used to be over here. There used to be stories that that there was one of the stories. I don't know if it's true or not. It's allegedly. So allegedly stories that a Muslim woman moved next door to a European woman. Then the European woman was making bacon sandwiches. The smell of bacon went into the Muslim woman's house, and she complained about them. And you used to hear stories about that, things like that. Also, the Muslims are getting two houses because they've got so many different wives, and they've got so many of this and so many of that. And because it's a big Muslim, I don't know if it's in America, but Muslims a big thing over here because most of the legal immigrants are from Islam or Islam religion.
There's a big community in my area. They're getting ready to settle. They're getting ready to do Diwali. Is coming up. I think that's a Muslim holiday. It may be Buddhist, but it's part of the Indian culture.
Yeah, I think it's Hindu.
Hindu, okay.
I think it's either Hindu or Sikh.
I don't think it's Sikh. I think it's Hindu or Muslim. Diwali.
Yeah. But Indian culture has been part. What idiots forget in Britain. Indian culture has been part of Britain since the 17 and early 1800s. It's ingrained in our food. It's ingrained in our language now. People forget that. Bungalow, pajamas, these are Indian words. Curry is a national dish now.
Yeah, I love curry. I love it.
Yeah. Curry is a national dish of Britain now. A chicken tikka masala. That's Britain's national dish. It's taken over fish and chips. But you get these idiots who go, "Yeah, we want these Muslims out and all that." Then,
Yeah,
oh
what are you going to do about the culture they left behind? Are you going to claim it as your own?
yes, some of the beers they drink, Indian Pale Ale.
Okay,
You
first
know?
of all, there's a lot of idiots out there that doesn't even know what IPA is. They think an IPA is like some microbrewery or something. IPA is how they craft the beer, and it's an Indian process. That's
Yeah,
why I think it's called IPA. Indian
yeah,
process something.
and it's one of the most tastiest beers you can get. I
Yep.
love Indian Pale Ale, especially a good one. Oh, I do love bacon and beer. Why do we get on bacon and bloody beer?
I don't know, and I'm trying not to drink today, and now he's sitting over here making me thirsty. Let me drink this water and shut up.
Yeah, just drink the water,
Let me drink
shit.
this water.
Um,
Hmm.
but you do get
You
these.
know, oh, go ahead.
No, carry on.
No, I was going to say it's been like we're hitting the 2 hour mark, and it's 11. I know it's early for you, so I didn't know how much longer you're going to leave.
Do you know what? It's 4 o'clock in the morning for me.
Oh, dude, get some sleep, bro.
No, it's all right. But if you want to stay on for a couple of minutes, we can do. If you don't, we can call it and we'll do another one.
Yeah, let's just do another one. I think I need to. I had
Yeah.
to step away. My wife peeked in here not too long ago too, so I think she kind of wants me to get off this
And
thing.
I think if you hear a bit more bacon and Indian Pale Ale, you may want a beer and a bacon sandwich.
Yes, and I definitely don't need to eat that at night.
No, definitely. Well,
No,
thank you for everybody turning up in the chat. Thank you all. Thank you, Brian, for always turning up. It's always a pleasure, mate.
absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you for always having me.
Thank
And
you.
good night to everybody in the chat. Or
Yep,
good morning.
let's hope we'll have more boring conversations like this one.
We are the boring channel.
We are the boring channel. All right. Good night, all. And you'll take care.
All right, Chief. Thanks, man. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Okay, that is all. Thank you for everybody again. You'll take care now. Goodbye.